Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Um, Welcome to Vespers. You'll see that tonight I am alone on the couch, but we have some friends on Skype that we're going to talk to in just a moment. I've already been talking for a few minutes to the web, so we'll get to talk with them in just a moment, all the way from the thriving metropolis of Wilmore. So we're so glad though that you all have joined us and that you're here. I'm looking on my phone to see, and so hey everybody, glad you're here and that you joined us. Oh, thank you, Linda and Isaac. We're so glad you're here. We see some other folks on there as well. Tonight, we want to start off by taking a few moments just to light a candle, as we say often in worship, to celebrate the presence of Christ in us, among us, and beyond us. Because we know that God's presence, while we often celebrate that in the midst of our sanctuary, the sanctuary of our God is all over this whole earth. And we're grateful that even though that we're separated, and even though we may have to distance ourselves socially, that we know that God is with us even now. Also, we light this candle this evening, remembering those many folks who are suffering this evening. Be that healthcare workers who have been working long hours, from therapists and from chaplains, from school teachers who've been working long hours as well, trying to teach remotely to their students, to those who are ill, to those who are sick as well, and to food service workers, to other folks, to small business owners. There's so many people who are struggling from so many different aspects of this. We want to light a candle in solidarity with these people as well. So we light this candle, celebrating the presence of Christ in us, among us, and beyond us. The Christ who loves us and envelops us and loves the whole world. And as we light this candle, we also remember those who are suffering, and we pray for them this evening. That this little light that we have here, we might be able to share with those around us. I'm overjoyed to see you all as I look at the chat, to see you all here as well. Thank you so much for joining in so that we can have a few moments together to share and to hear a little bit about what is going on in the web's life. We all find ourselves in many different places. Some of us may be spending a lot more time alone. Some of us may be spending a lot more time with our families together. And so we're going to hear about the webs and what they have been doing this weekend. Or these last few weeks. Let me switch over now and see if I can get to their camera, and we'll say hey. So hi webs, how are you?
Hey, we're good. How's it going?
Good. I'm moving your video around a little bit. It has somehow switched size, and so everybody at home is going to get an awesome picture here of it. Okay, there you are.
Hi.
So it's so good to see you all, even though we're from a distance. What's been going on? How have you all been dealing with, isolating yourselves and with distancing, with jobs and with schoolwork and all that stuff? You want to tell us a little bit about what you all have been doing?
Yeah, well, Hank made a good suggestion. We're going to go down the road.
We're going to go down the road.
So we're on spring break. Jessamine County's on.
So we're on spring break. Jessamine County's on spring break this week. And our principal was real specific about like rest and try to not think too much about school. Like really do take a break. And so I've sort of been doing that, but I've also been planning what's going to happen because we go to online instruction next week. So it was really interesting. Last week we did a lot of that, and I had a couple Google Hangouts with my classes and trying to figure out, they're going to administer a modified version of the AP exam. So I've been trying to figure out what that's going to look like and how I can prepare my kids for that, those who are still going to be taking it. That's a big chunk of my students. And then, EKU Online, my principal certification grad school program, they're trucking along. They're like, oh, whatever, we don't care. Like you got this, and I'm like, oh, do we? Do it really? Like I got a research paper that has 6 books, and they're all like virtual PDF books, and that's a for me because I like to highlight and annotate in margins. I'm kind of an old school learner in that way, so I'm learning how to do. So there's that part of it. Henry Webb. Okay, yeah, birthday last Thursday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. For my birthday treat, we had which are cinnamon rolls, except they're orange flavored. And during the service, I drew this.
Oh, that is awesome!
And today I just got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because we ordered it, so it took a bit to get here. And so I've been playing that for quite a bit, and I've been sitting in my basement binging stuff, and I also got Pokemon Sword and Shield, which was really fun.
That's awesome. Do you have any suggestions for us for things that we could watch? Like if we need to binge a TV show for a little while, what's something good?
There's Richie Rich, which is a movie.
Macaulay Culkin, remember the old school one? Macaulay Culkin, remember the old.
And then there's The Lorax, which is a fun one.
Green eggs and
Green Eggs and Ham. Sorry, I'm Green Eggs and Ham.
The show.
Yeah, the show.
Oh, what's that one that you were watching yesterday?
Brainchild.
Brainchild. That's really fun. It's like a sciencey one that we thought was entertaining.
There's also Mysteries of the Abandoned, which isn't on Netflix.
Let's try to extrapolate. I mean, obviously they go there knowing what it is, but the sort of premise of it is we're going to look around and extrapolate what this place had been and why might it have been abandoned. And it's and then of course there's like the reveal at the end where they share with that. But they interview archaeologists and upon where it is might be like tour guides up from the places or geologists or whatever. Really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Julie's turn. Well, I've made some art. So this is like the first art I made.
I have to talk. Can you hear us? Do we need to speak up?
The next one is this, which is in a frame.
Tell people what it is, baby.
It's a dream catcher.
And then the next one.
The next one is a board game. It's called Rainbow Tiles.
even with
a dice that I made out of Play-Doh. Then we toasted it.
We put it in the toaster oven at 150 for 2 hours, and which was an experiment. It didn't set on fire. It didn't break the toaster oven, but it's dried out. It was a little kiln, and so we have a little now hard die to play the game.
That's all. So you made that game yourself?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That was good. And anything else?
Well, not really.
Minecraft with friends.
Oh yeah, binging with me. Well, me and Hank, we set up a realm that we can play with our friends together without them playing on Minecraft. On realms, so on other devices, you have to pay $8 to play, but on Xbox it's free if you're invited. Yeah.
So we can do that, and that's cool. We've been getting outside a little bit, not as much
as we were the
first week we were outside a whole bunch, and then I guess just with weather and whatever else, we haven't quite as much in the last few days, but we'll try to remedy that.
One of my friends, like one of our friends in the game, he keeps on breaking my house. Minecraft.
To keep with this bunch during the days I've been home. I've only been going into work one day a week and telecommuting the rest of the time. So it's had some time to read, and it's been nice. I finished up Willa Cather's My Antonia and a couple of Stephen King books. So that's been fun. That's about it.
Yeah, and then I guess kind of the other thing that I've been doing, we've been cooking and baking and things. We made the orange rolls for Hank from scratch, of course. But so years ago, I bought from a pawn shop on eBay. I bought an auto harp. A used auto harp that they said, we don't know where it's from. It's in pretty good condition. And then when it arrived on the back, I hope that it had not been stolen from a school district in North Carolina. I hope that it had been like at our school, if something becomes obsolete, they salvage it. But I don't know, because there's a sticker on the back that's been ripped off that says you can't tell what school district, but some school anyway. So I might have this might have been hot when I bought it. I don't know. But I had never done anything with it. I bought it with, good intentions at the beginning of one summer and then did never do anything with it. And so what I did was the past 2 weeks, I have been learning how to tune it, which is tricky and a learning curve, but okay. And then it's tuned-ish. Aaron, I was telling Aaron, are pretty good. The D